Pineapple.
I guess the real question is, are you going to stop after this one?
No.
Or...
Well, depending.
No? Wait,
I mean,
we need to... Are you going to go for the rest of the treasures?
I do want to go for the rest of the treasures, but I also want to grind food because I want to overpower the bosses.
We might do one more stream after this then.
Okay.
Like, we don't have that much time if we want to finish today. If we don't care about finishing today, then do it.
What's the question? That is the question.
Yeah, if you want to get all the treasures, we can. I will need. I will need a little bit more recording today.
What?
Hey, you fell in. How could you fall in the pit like that? You have 7 beans.
Nearly there.
And it's great because the low, like the quote unquote low tier food is like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Cakes.
Oh, this will be good. Fire should work.
Fire's like
in this
a
enclosed
constant stream
space.
of, like fire things. This is like, yeah, probably.
Or not, huh? You know, there is a reason why it seems like how I did this game was that Ragnar did all the dungeoning and Alwyn did all the bosses, no exceptions.
Yeah. I think I'm laying
You know, it's the only quote-unquote exceptions being when Alwyn wasn't present, so it's not really an exception.
Yeah.
But there's a reason for it, and that knockback is just too good. Anyway, you were about to ask me something else?
Oh, I was like, if there's any other books you want to talk about, but I don't think you've read.
Oh, no, that's the only book I've read recently. I mean, it's been like a week, so...
What? I was going to wonder what you've been playing.
Yeah, so I took a little bit of a break from Caves of Cud to play another Pokemon hack that someone made. This one was called Pokemon Pisces.
Pisces.
And it's sort of a sequel to Emerald.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, not a very good prize there. You were already at full health, but all right. It does a lot of interesting things, but it's one of those games where it's like, man, do I wish people would just make Pokemon designs I like, make monster designs that I like. I eventually found 5 that I liked, and I used my starter. It was fine. I didn't particularly like any of them.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate the fire one, so I went with that. But no, the game does a lot of interesting things with weather and statuses and how abilities interact.
That's neat.
Like they really, it's like if Pokemon was made by a developer that had time.
Wait.
Or rather, that
Those were
wasn't
my
making
lines.
the games that wasn't the making the games aimed at kids.
You know, I think they should just do two. Just release like this is the Pokemon main series game.
They never will.
They never will. No, they will never. That's true. That's very sad.
But like,
it's double money.
But like the fights were all well designed. I had to try, but it wasn't like, you have placed a no item restriction on the fight and placed a level cap on me while restricting my available access to Pokemon, thereby artificially inflating the difficulty.
Yeah. Because that's like the easiest.
Instead, they just made really well-crafted teams using actual strategies you might find. That time, the cat actually went and did it. That's the second time the cat has gone and done it. Maybe unequip the cat.
Let's hear it.
The cat is playing with the bombs, and it is unfortunate.
Go to the... I have lost the food.
This is also one of the only like modifications of Emerald I've seen that adds new statuses. They added 2 that I can remember off the top of my head. I think they changed Frozen to Frostbite, or they added Frostbite, which isn't like quote unquote new, right? Because it's like what Freeze changed to in Gen 9. But or was it Gen 8? But they added 2 statuses that I can remember off the top of my head. One is called Blooming, which is actually mostly a positive status, which is another interesting thing.
Mostly.
Well, yeah, so like I said, there's lots of moves and abilities that interact with statuses and weather and terrains and rooms. Like the big like things that Pokemon has to really change up the battlefield. And like, I think Blooming makes you take more damage from fire, in addition to like most of the positive effects it gives you. Like it regens your health every turn. But the other status is probably the most interesting one, which is Panic.
Interesting.
And it's interesting because when you're in that status, you use more power points for each of your moves.
Interesting.
And you do less damage.
That's actually a pretty...
It's like a 25% damage buff nerf, and you use more power points. I don't remember if it was double power points or the triple.
Right.
But it was very interesting.
What are these old bosses dropping?
I don't know why the bosses drop terrible food. I could not tell you.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's funny. One of my favorite Pokemon to use in this game was the Pokemon that just says no. It just says no. You can't do that. I'm gonna pull up my save file and explain.
Gotcha.
It's worth doing, I think. So this Pokemon.
I got a 6. Woo!
Yeah. What'd you get? Oh, 22. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the chest? Ow.
It's that way. So anyway, okay. So like I said, this game has a lot of like weather, terrain, and room effects, right?
Yeah.
So I made a Pokemon with the for anyone who eventually plays this game, the Pokemon's name is Werobera, Werobera. It's a normal flying like bat umbrella. Okay. So it has the ability. One of its abilities is Cloud 9, which says weather. What's that?
Nice.
Next, I gave it Defog, which removes spikes, light screen, and stuff like that from the field. And I gave it. There's a. I don't know if this is a real move because I'm not up to date on all the moves. I played Scarlet Violet, but that doesn't mean I used or saw every Pokemon. It's a move. Actually, I can look it up. But the move is called Demolisher, which gets boosted power if it's in if there's a terrain or room set up, and then it destroys all terrains and rooms. So this Pokemon just says, "Oh, you're trying to have fun." Wow, bad.
Bad. Haven't.
Bad. We are fighting. We are fighting in the neutral field, as Game Freak intended in Gen 1.
Just a spray bottle, which is no.
Yeah, it's a spray. It was... So let me check the attack dex real quick. Demolisher. Is this just a genius move by the devs, or is it a real move? It is a genius move by the devs. It is not a real move, so they added this in.
Real
like, there's a lot of cool stuff like that, right? Like, oh, if you're in a train, the attack is boosted. Like, lots of cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, there's a, like, one of my other Pokemon gets a really powerful, like, it's a, where is it? Oh, it doesn't do what I think it did. Okay. It doesn't do it, so it's slightly better than what I think it did. But, like, there was a move that I thought was, like, 130 power, 90 accuracy, harshly lowers the opponent's attack and makes you panic. But it's the other way around. It harshly lowers your attack and can make the foe panic.
Yeah.
It would have been a really interesting move if you inflicted yourself with a status after using it. But it's not that.
Crazy. I don't know. Oh, here it is. Yay.
But, like, they did a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of moves were just augmented in some way. So, for instance, you know the move Torment?
Yeah.
Do you know what it does? Okay, so Torment says if you're inflicted by Torment, you can't use the same move twice in a row.
Interesting.
Torment in this game does that, but if you use Torment again, it like acts like the move Spite, which is to say the last used move gets their power points cut by an amount.
Yeah.
And it lowers a random stat. So, like, it gives moves like other stuff to do.
Pretty neat.
Like, they changed some stuff around too. Like, for instance, you know, like the move Mist, which normally just says, hey, you can no longer, like, lower the stats of the team while Mist is active. Right? They changed it to be a priority move. Just interesting stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like lots of interesting changes. The moves. So it's one of those things where it's like you have to really, and some abilities were changed too. But like it makes you have to read everything to make sure you fully understand what the thing is actually doing. Which is, I think it's a good thing. Anyway, the point is, I had a fun time with the game after I finally got like enough of a team, but I was really struggling early game where I was like, I don't like any of these Pokemon. Am I gonna drop this? It was pretty rough at the start, but that's just me not liking it. So yeah, I've been playing that, but then I beat that, and I may or may not have gotten distracted again. So we'll see if I actually get back to Caves of Cut. I am still playing. Okay, it dropped. I am still playing with save file. I made a little bit of progress, a tiny bit of progress the past couple days, but unfortunately, I found another Pokemon game that someone made, so I might end up playing that before I get back to Caves of Cut again. This one is just, hey. Okay, I mean, so a lot of people watching this may have even heard of this one. This one is something. It did something that I would like to call escaped containment.
Oh, did it?
If you know what I mean by that.
Maybe.
Basically, this one's gonna get picked up by the wider internet. And not just be like, this is a really good, Pokemon hack that like people who play Pokemon hacks would know about. This is gonna get probably picked up by the internet at large.
Oh.
This one's called Super Mario Mon, and I don't think I need to explain more.
Right.
You've done it again.
I did this twice. But
it's not going to lock into place. That should be fine. Yeah, so the interesting thing is it's definitely high effort. Custom story, custom world, custom map tiles. Like, it looks like a Mario and Luigi game.
Nice. Yeah, I like Mario and Luigi game.
So, like, definitely high effort, high quality, but I'm running into the same problem where it took me, I think, over an hour of deliberating over the available, quote-unquote Pokemon in the game before I settled on a team because I was really struggling to find ones I liked.
Yeah.
But I did manage.
That's good.
Yeah, because if I couldn't... Honestly, if I can't find a team of 6 that I like in your game, I'm not going to play it.
That is fair.
Like, that's the biggest thing that I will always say. If you're making a monster taming game, the most important thing is the monster designs.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
If you do not like using your party members, you've failed.
Yeah, that's the game. That's like the whole point.
Yeah. But I got there. It took longer than I would have liked.
Yeah.
But I will either play it immediately or play it after a bit more Caves of Cut. We'll see. It's probably going to be immediately, though.
Yeah. Like it.
But yeah, oh, go for it.
I was gonna say I've been playing a little bit of Balatro. That game does very well. I don't know if you saw, but it like won an award, and the guy, the developer, didn't want to actually go in person. Like, wants to be like a faceless guy. Doesn't want to be like in public, right? So he had somebody dress up as a Joker to accept the award in his place.
Nice.
Like Jimbo, the Joker.
Right.
From the game.
Yeah.
Have you played Bubble True?
I have played a bit of it.
It's a good game.
It really is good.
You know that it's unfortunately been marked as a gambling related game in like the EU or something.
That was undone.
Was it?
Yeah, that was undone.
I thought there was some like a more recent thing that happened related to that. Maybe it wasn't the EU. Maybe it was something else.
Oh, it was. You're talking about YouTube. It was caught up in a YouTube thing, and then it was reinstated. That one was a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Well, I say that they are conducting a platform, quote-unquote, platform review. We'll see what that means. But basically, yeah, they were quicker on the ball with that one. That it shouldn't have been caught up in the first place, but we'll see. It's like people really just don't take the effort to understand the game. They're just like, playing cards. Poker, the only thing you're allowed to do with those is gamble, so this must be gambling.
Really frustrating because there are games like FIFA Ultimate Team or something. Whatever the current FIFA game is.
That's not gambling, that's soccer.
What? My gotcha.
What are you talking about?
Wait,
that's soccer.
That's not gambling because you guaranteed to get something out of it. There's no chance for you. Well, there's no way you get zero. You always get something, which means it's not gambling. I forgot. My bad. But also my football. Also my lobbying that is paying government officials to not ban my definitely not gambling. Yay. So I did
unfortunately
something similar soon that might remove
unfortunately
that.
If I can spend money and not get what I spent my money on, that's gambling.
What? No,
so,
but you got something though, right?
That's not what I paid for.
Yeah. Valve, why did you do this?
What? Why'd you run away from the chest?
I forgot because there's a. I think I did not go this.
The chest was.
Look, I know. Right here. See?
All right.
Got the treasure.
Yeah. So essentially, the plate means that we could be running through every single dungeon again.
No. If you look, right here where it has the second. Well, that's not a good. Let's show you this one. This one here.
Yeah.
You see how there's a
That
second in parentheses there?
I do.
That's the plate. Yep. And if you look,
yeah,
the next one's in parentheses show up here, and I haven't gone there to touch them.
that's true. You haven't been in the woods. Okay, cool. So it tells you ahead of time which ones have.
It tells me which
have
ones
chests.
still have them. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not going to waste my time and make me go through every single dungeon.
All right.
I don't know if this will change that. But there is, I think, a lawsuit happening in one of the EU countries where they are trying to make games not like obfuscate how much money you're spending with like a currency.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you see much about that?
I had heard about something like that. I don't know much.
There's like a Bellular video if you want to watch it for details. But essentially, there's like this like game targeted for like girls who like ponies and stuff, where like you can pay money to like get different horses and things, and it's like really egregious on like it's obfuscating how much you're actually spending. And the proposed legislation would essentially remove it entirely, the obfuscating of currencies, and or force them to specifically say how much it is in like translation to actual currency. So like if something is like 300 fake currency coins, it's like, oh, this is $3. For a quick example, it would force them to say 300 coins or $3, so you would know how much you're spending on it instead of it being obfuscated through a layer of buy coins and then buy things.
Yeah.
So I hope that goes through.
Good. Yeah, good. Like,
But also the reaction, apparently from some of the companies involved or would be involved, are like, but this might limit games and people having access to their favorite games.
no.
I don't know about that one, buddy.
Straight up, no. No, it won't. What are you talking about?
What I think is they mean by that is they would remove the games in those areas because of the legislation. Because it makes them so much money, they would then go, oh, well, we can't have bigger game there now, because that's...
I fail to see the problem.
No, I agree. It's not a problem. And it is just what they get for doing what they've been doing and getting away with it for so long. But the thing is, they're trying to spin it as, because you're limiting us, we won't be able to do what we do, and that's a good thing. That's not the bad thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I fail to see the problem.
Yeah. It is kind of silly that they've managed to get away with this for so long. But then again, everything's been diverted and attention is elsewhere for many things. Whew. Crazy. Yes, this way. Where is this chest?
Spin around. It's that way.
I don't know if it's just
Did
cardinal
you
direction.
Go this way?
No,
go back. You got that? It says just this way. There it is.
Oh, there. I got fanned.
Yeah, I think you gotta go the other way. This is not the other way.
Oh, okay. No, I see where it is now. I didn't know where it was in relation to what I was doing. But yeah, hopefully it goes through, and hopefully everyone has to tell everyone how much they're actually spending instead of it being obfuscated. There it is.
All right.
Fried rice. That was definitely not worth it.
That was not the treasure.
It was not the treasure. It was not the special chest.
It was not the treasure chest. It was the wooden box.
Danger. Yeah. Yeah, but other than Balatro, and that bit of news there, I've been playing Vintage Story.
Again? Okay.
With a couple of my friends, yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, or if this was something I mentioned last time, or if I had mentioned it previously.
No. You've talked about playing the game in the past.
Yeah.
That's why I said again.
Yeah.
Like I've heard you talk about it before. I know what it is.
It's been a while. You do know or don't know what it is?
From your description of it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just, we usually play mod packs for Minecraft, but we were like looking for a little bit of something different this time. And so we decided to play through Vintage Story, which does have its own little modding community. Actually. Kind of neat.
Sure.
So we got a couple mods. A few of them are like convenience things, but most of them are just extra. Like eating food and maintaining like different levels of basically nutrition is pretty important. And we've added a mod that adds like a bunch of different food variations that you can make dumplings, you can make like fruit bread, you can make like different pies. You can like bread and then fry like bell peppers. Just little fun things that just gives more variety as to what you're doing. But for those who don't know, Finja Story it's not like a Minecraft clone or anything like that, but it is definitely inspired by Minecraft. If you have ever played or know of the Terraformercraft mod, it is not made by the same person, but it is the more popular of the two mods that do the same thing. And Finja Story essentially just made its own game and does this, where it's like Minecraft, but there's a lot more survival focus, a lot more realistic in tech progression. Like you gotta like mine ore in they're like large veins. You get a bunch of it, you melt it into a crucible, and then you form it into an ingot, and then you heat the ingot up, and then you hammer it out into the shape that you need for a pickaxe, and that's how you make a pickaxe. The crafting system is very voxel based, so like you can find clay, and then you like put the clay down and you build up your own little pot, and then you fire the pot, and then now you have a storage vessel. The thing is, you put the hot ingot down, and then you use your hammer to like move the voxels of the ingot around into the shape that you need. It's very manual in how it accomplishes things, and it's very, very interesting. And if you like that kind of thing, then you might like Finja Story, and you should check it out. But we've been playing it, and we're doing pretty good. We've reached the Iron Age, which is without a massive.
I don't know if the chest is on this floor.
I don't think
seeing a lot of
it is
empty
either.
chests.
Yeah, without a very in-depth explanation, hard to explain the progress that has been required for that. But it's a decent amount of progress. There's still a couple more things we could do, like you can make a windmill and have that transport like pork. And then make like a health hammer, like an automated smithing hammer with like a bit of engineering to get it to function, and then you can automate like smithing of like a couple items. I don't know. There's a lot of very cool, very interesting mechanics in Finja Story. And if you're a fan of Minecraft and you are either bored of it or want something a little bit different to try and you haven't found it quite yet, check it out. I think it might be worth your while. Take a look at it. I think currently, if I recall, it's only 22 US dollars, and I think it's like 20 euros. So, not too expensive. And it is currently being updated. In fact, the last time I played, it was like 8 updates ago, and there's like a lot of change. Yeah, Finja Story. Pretty fun.
Okay.